Hello dear student, I hope you all are fine and stay safe at your home. Dear student, our today's topic is circular flow of income. This is one of the important topic from board point of view, and this particular topic becomes a foundation base for our upcoming topic, which is about national income. Okay, dear student, so in today's scenario, dear student, you all are familiar that we are going through this epidemic period of COVID-19. So during this period, you heard about the term that income. Most of the people are talking about income, employment. They are talking about their household consumption, expenditure. They are also talking about the expenditure and the goods and services produced in the industry. So there are lot of questions, okay, come across your mind, that what are these terms and what is this all about. So after finishing this chapter, you all are familiar with these terms and you all are able to find out the answer of many of the question. Okay, dear students, so let's start with our first topic, which is about four sector of the economy. Dear student, we all are familiar that there are four sectors in our economy. The first is household sector, then the producer sector, and third is government sector, and the last one is external sector of the economy. Okay, now the first one is household sector. Okay, dear student, this sector basically represents the households. Okay, like you, like us, like we all are the part of the household sector, and this sector includes the consumption of goods and services. Okay, dear student, all the factor of production, like we have raw material, like we have labor, we have capital, we have entrepreneur. Okay, all these are the different factor of production. So all these are the factor of production, they are owned by the household sectors only, and these sectors play a very important role in the production activities. Okay, dear student, our second sector is production sector. This is also known as the farm sector. Dear student, this sector produces goods and services. Okay, this sector take all the resources, or you can say all the factor of production, like labor, land, capital, entrepreneur. Okay, all these are different factor of production. So this sector take all these factor of production from the household sector, and after that, by utilizing these factor of production, they generate goods and services with the help of these factor of production. So this is our farm sector. Okay, dear student, now our third sector is the government sector. We all are familiar with the concept of government, that we have government in our central government have their three and four parts, like the central government, the state government, the local bodies. Okay, so these all are the different parts of government, and a government functions accordingly. Okay, dear student, now dear student, we have to understand that the basic role of the government, or the basic motive of the government is two. The first one is the welfare agency. Government work as an welfare agency. Okay, it produces goods and services for the welfare of the individual, and second one is it work as a producer for goods and services and so many other products. Dear student, as we all know that if you talk about the firm, the motive of the firm is profit maximization. Okay, but if in the case of government, the motive of the government is social welfare or welfare motive. So that's why in this point government is quite different from the producer. Okay, the last sector is the external sector, which we also known as the rest of the world. When our economy is merged up with the external economy, and when export and import of goods and services take place in our economy, it is simply known as the external economy or the rest of the world. Okay, dear student, so these are the four main sectors of the economy, and they play a very important role in the production, distribution and consumption activity in the economy. Now our next topic is the circular flow of income. Dear student, in every economy, three activities never stop. Okay, the first one is production of goods. Production of goods never stops because every individual, or you can say every firm, okay, and every household have their demands. Okay, and for to fulfill those demands, we must have to produce goods and services. So production of goods and services never stop in an economy. The second one is generation of income. Okay, now by producing those goods and services, we generate income from a firm point of view. And if you talk about the household point of view, then all the factor of production which is supplied by household to the firm, they get factor payments on behalf of those services. Okay, so this is known as the factor payments. This is also a type of income. And the last one is our expenditure by the household, expenditure by the firm. Okay, so these three activities take place in an economy, and they will never end in an economy, dear student. Now it is the flow of money or income. We can see that now the question arises that what is the circular flow of income. Okay, why we use the word circular flow? Okay, yeah, why we use the word circular? So we have to understand this with the help of a definition of this circular flow of income. So I will explain you two different definitions, okay, of this same concept. The first one is, it is the flow of money income or the flow of goods and services across different sector of an economy in a circular form. Okay, we all are familiar with the concept of circle. So when the money income or when goods or services, okay, flow in different sectors of economy, from household to firm sector, from firm to household sectors, then this circular form is known as circular flow of income. Or you can say that it is the flow of the activities of production, income and expenditure. The three activities which we mentioned above, like production, income and expenditure, involving different sector of the household sector, producer sector, government sector and rest of the world. Okay, dear students, we all know that we have four sectors. Okay, when the money circulated in all these four sectors, it is simply known as circular flow of money. Okay, now there is two concepts. One is a real flow of money and another one is money flow. Okay, one is real flow and one is money flow. We will understand this concept in our latter part of the video. Okay, dear student, now we have to understand that why this circular flow never stop in the economy. Okay, why there is no beginning and there is no end of this circular flow in the economy. So there are two main reasons, dear student. First, discovery of new resources. Okay, when we discover new resources, it simply means that production again increases. It simply means our demand again increases. As we all know that we study in the economics that human wants are unlimited and we have limited resources. We have to fulfill all our wants in those limited resources only. But when we discover new resources, it means we have a new want. Okay, we have a new demand in the economy, and to fulfill that new demand we have to produce goods and services. So this is a never stop. Okay, or we can say these activities never stop in the economy. Okay, next is the innovation technology being used by the producers. Okay, dear student, we all know that in today's world the science and technology grows in a super fast way. Okay, every day you will find a new technology introduced by someone in the market. Okay, so the producer have different new technologies, and by every addition technology or every new technology, the production capacity of the firm increases. And when the production capacity of the firm increases, it simply means with the limited resources he can produce more goods and services, and with the limited resources he can fulfill the demand of the people more efficiently. Okay, dear student, so this is simply known as the circular flow of income. When money income circulate in the economy, okay, from one sector to another sector, it is simply known as circular flow of income. Now our next topic is the phases of circular flow of income. Dear student, the circular flow of income have three phases. The first one is production of goods and services. Okay, in this the goods and services are produced by the firm or by the factories. After that, the generation or distribution of income. In this part, you will distribute all your goods and services to the household sector. Okay, So the household sector purchase those goods and services from the firm. Now how they generate their power, from where did they get the potential or the purchasing power to buy those goods and services? Dear student, the purchasing power is generated by the factor payments, okay, which the firm gives to the firm. In the initial we studied that factor of production switches from household to the firm. All the factor of production like land, capital, entrepreneur, all these are different factor of production. So these factor of production is given by household to the firm. On behalf of those factor of payment, factor of production, the firm provide factor of payments to the household, which is known as your rent, profit, interest, okay. So all these are wages, salaries, all these are different factors of payments which is given by firms to the household. So with the help of these factor of payments, the household get the potential to buy the goods and services produced by the firm. Okay, dear student, now our next part is the disposition or expenditure of income, which I told you that when the household get the potential, okay, to expend to spend on goods and services, okay, by earning wages, by earning salary, by earning rent, by earning interest, then he will buy all the goods and services produced by the firm. Okay, similarly when a firm supply all its goods and services to the household, then with the help of those money the household purchase all the goods and services. Now the money transfer from household to the firm, this is known as the expenditure of income. Okay, how the firm did his expenditure of income, okay, and how the household did his expenditure of income. Okay, so this part is covered in this particular session. So with this circular flow of income, we can easily understand that there are three things which we have keep in mind. The first one is production of goods and services, the second one is generation or distribution of income, and the third one is disposition or expenditure of income. Okay, dear student, now move to our next topic, which is stock and flow concept. Okay, dear student, now what is stock concept and what is flow concept? Dear student, a stock is a quantity measured at a particular point of time. Okay, always keep in mind that whenever you study about the stock concept, you have to keep in mind that this particular point of time, it means any quantity which you can measure or anything which you can measure at a particular point of time, it is simply known as the stock concept. For example, stock goods in a godown as on 31st December 2019. As you can see that the time is given. Okay, this is a particular point at 31st January. You have on 31st January 2019, you have to measure that particular stock in the godown. So that's why this is a particular point of time. Okay, so any concept which you measure at a particular point of time, it's simply known as stock concept. It means stock variables are not time dimension. Okay, some more examples of stock variables are national wealth, national capital, money supply. All these are stock concept because you can measure these concept at a particular point of time. Similarly, your bank deposit, if I ask that what is your bank deposit as on today, so I am asking at a particular point of time, I am asking about today. Okay, so when you explain your bank deposits on 31st January, or you can say on 17th of the July, so it simply means this is at a, you can measure your deposit at a particular point of time. So this is known as the stock concept. Similarly, the distance between Delhi and Mumbai, so all these are the stock concept. Okay, dear student, now if you talk about the flow concept here, student, a flow is a quantity measured over a specific period of time. So keep in mind whenever you go through with the definition of flow, that you have to keep in mind that this is measured at a specific period of time, not a particular period of time. It is measured at a specific period of time. That's why it is known as a flow concept. For example, income, expenditure, production, consumption, interest, capital, sale of rice, number of birth, all these are the flow concept because these are measured at a specific period of time, or you can say over a period of time. That's why it is known as a flow concept. Okay, dear student, so now we have to understand that the in our next part we will understand the difference between the stock and flow. What is the basic difference between these two concepts? So first, the meaning. Dear student, stock variable refers to that variable which is measured at a particular point of time. It means like on 31st January 2019, the stock in the godown. So this is a concept which is measured at a particular point of time. That's why it is a stock concept. Now when I talk about what is the quantity of grains in the godown on January 2019. So this is a type of flow concept, because flow variable refers to that variable which is measured over a period of time. So that's why it is a flow variable. Next is time dimension. Okay, the stock, it does not have a time dimension, but in the case of flow, it has a time dimension, and it is magnitude can be measured over a period of time. So that's why stock is not a time dimension concept, but flow is a time dimension concept. The next one is nature of the concept. Okay, stock, it is a static concept, dear student, and if you talk about the flow, it is a dynamic concept. Okay, now there are few examples of stock and few example of flow. If you talk about the stock, you have, suppose if I wish to ask that what is the population of India as on 31st March 2018. Okay, so this is a particular point of time. That's why it is a stock concept. Okay, when you measure the national wealth. Okay, next is when the money supply or the circulation of money is calculated by the RBI. So all these are the stock concept. And if you talk about the flow, then the total number of birth during 2018. Okay, national income of your country. Okay, quantity of wheat produced. So those are the concept which is measured at over a period of time. That's why these all concepts are the flow concepts. Okay, dear student, now let's move to our next part, which is about this circular flow. Now we all are familiar that what is the circular flow of income. Okay, what is the meaning of circular flow? Okay, we all are familiar. Now the types of circular flow. Dear student, there are two types of circular flow in the economy. The first one is real flow and the second one is money flow. We will explain all these concepts one by one. The first one is real flow. Dear student, real flow refers to the flow of factor services from household to the firm and the corresponding flow of goods and services from firm to household. This is known as the real flow. There is no money involvement in this particular flow. That's why it is known as real flow. Only goods and services, only services flow from one sector to another sector. Now in the diagram, if you see that when from household, all the factor services, like you have land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, all these are different factor services. So when all these factor services supply from household to the firm is simply known as factor services. Okay, or those factor services supply from household to the firm. On behalf of these factor services, you get goods and services on behalf of these factor services. Okay, so by using these factor services, a firm generate goods and services. Okay, and the firm supply all those goods and services to the household. So this is known as the real flow. Okay, dear student. So always keep in mind, in a two-sector economy, we have household and the firm. And in a three-sector economy, we have household, firm and the government. And in a four-sector economy, we have household, firm, government and the rest of the world. But in this particular case, we are talking about only two-sector economy. That's why we have household and firm. From household, we are supplying our factor services like land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. And from firm, by using all these factor services, we are supplying goods and services to the household. This is our real flow of goods and services. Now move to our next concept, which is about money flow. Dear student, when money is involved in this process, it is simply known as money flow. Or you can say that money flow refers to the flow of factor payments from firm to household for their factor services, and corresponding flow of consumption expenditure from household to firm for purchase of goods and services produced by the firm. Okay, dear student, in the real flow, we understand that from household to the firm, all the factor services supplied. Now, what will be the benefit of those, or what will be the reward? So, dear student, all those factor services, the household receive the factor payment from the firm, which you can see in the diagram in the lower portion, that all these are your factor payments which you receive for your factor service. So these factor payments are rent, wages, interest and profit. So all these are factor payments which you receive for your factor services which you supplied from household to the firm. Okay, dear student. Now from firm you receive goods and services. The household receive goods and services from the firm. Now the expenditure, the consumption expenditure which they done, or the money supply which they or the money which they spend on goods and services, it's supplied from household to the firm. This is simply known as the consumption expenditure on goods and services. So this is our money flow, dear student. So that's it for today, dear student. In our next video we will try to understand about the circular flow in a simple economy or a two-sector economy concept. Okay, that's it for today, student. Stay safe, stay healthy and stay tuned with our channel. Thank you, dear student.